Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just going on to XRP. Once again, thank you for support, okay? Big of the CoinsKid crew, thank you for tuning in, thank you for liking the content and your subscription on YouTube. If you're not already involved in the community, definitely get involved. The links are in the video description right now. So what's going on with XRP? So I've been away for quite a long time. It has been boring. I didn't anticipate it would be like this. You know, Bitcoin in its correction, you know, the summer lull basically. So I've took some time out, spending time with the family. We toured the west coast of America. It was absolutely amazing. Went to Germany. So on and so forth, but you don't want my life story. But right now, XRP, let's take a look and see what we think, you know, is going down with the XRP chart, okay? So I've got a theory at the moment that, you know, and obviously it can be invalidated. I'm looking for the invalidation, but I don't see anything to invalidate it at the moment. I've got a theory that we are on the cusp of a vertical here across the charts, across, you know, for risk basically, and especially XRP and Bitcoin. So I'm looking for the invalidation, don't quite see it yet, but I'm also looking for clues as to when, you know, we should seriously think about jumping ship, taking profit, and you know, it's just a little clue that the end of the run is here. Now usually typically the DXY, and I've been looking at this for a very long time with yourselves, tracking it, it does do something at the top of every single run here, including XRP, and I'll go through this with you. We see a bullish divergence on the weekly time frame, and we just do not see that yet in this down thrust, in this big correction or whatever it is that, you know, the DXY is doing. So if I drop the XRP chart in for you right now, I did go through this quite extensively yesterday for the Bitcoin video. Let's just change the colour right now. So the orange line represents the XRP price action. If we look at that, April 2021, that was a huge move up for XRP against anticipation. That actually hit the dollar and a cent, my target, okay? It was a 1618, $1.97 on the absolute dollar and cent. And I did make a video at that point saying I expect it to come back in a major ABC correction to around about the 55-cent mark. And everyone was like, no way, you don't know what you're talking about. But it did. It was a huge crash and correction. I did put that video out there, but I hold my hands up. I did think that once that macro correction was over, we would begin a massive move up. Okay, but what I think's happened here, we're just in a broader cycle, and what we've got is the actual last leg that's gearing its, you know, ugly head basically. Well, it won't be ugly if it actually appears, but what we're looking at is basically a massive thrust up here, a potential third wave, because this, from this bottom here, this is potentially an impulsive wave 1. This has been a macro wave 2. This is a 1, this is a 2, and right now we're gearing up for a third wave, which is part of the third wave. It's a huge move up, just like we've seen just here for XRP. Okay, so I'll go through this with you, because what I think we've got is clues in the DXY. So if we take a look at this particular time frame from 2016, we've got this huge drop to the downside for the DXY, and if you take a look at the trend line, we had a touch there when we got oversold, okay, and XRP was just going sideways in the summer of 2017. Then we had this huge move up by the DXY, okay. Then when we came down, we actually made a new low here for the DXY. But what we did, we made a higher low on the weekly RSI. So we created a beautiful bullish divergence. So you've got a low there and a low there, okay. Then a low in the oversold trajectory for the DXY and the RSI, and then a higher low. So that was a whopping bullish divergence. Now, divergences on weekly timeframes, higher timeframes, must be taken seriously. They have more power than the lower time frames. Obviously, we look at them on the lower time frames for Confluence to, you know, intraday trades in and out, so on and so forth. But the DXY printing bullish and bearish divergences is a massive clue. So if we move to the right, and you can clearly see here, we sort of poked a red down there in the RSI oversold level again for the DXY, and this was mid-summer 2020. Okay, then we had that sort of correction here for XRP. Then we began this massive move up. But once we created this bullish divergence down here, okay, where we created the pivot point of a higher low and a lower low, this is pretty much where XRP was running out of steam, just like it was there in that thrust up. So at the moment, I think that we've got a very similar clue that we've got this downtrend here, downtrend there, and then this downtrend here. And what we're looking for is, right now, the pivot point, which is potentially that pivot point there and that pivot point there. Then the DXY to come up in the RSI, come back down, make a higher low, but make a lower low in the index. And that will indicate to me that, okay, we're looking at the end here for XRP and Bitcoin of a potential move up in risk. And at that point, I'll relay that message, and it could indicate the end of that big third wave. Okay, so let's take a look at the XRP price action right now to see the potential scenarios playing out under our noses. Okay, so looking at XRP on a daily time frame, there is a potential that we have bottom just here for XRP. Okay, so I'll go through this with you, but so far so good. You know, we're adding to our bags, we're doing incredibly well, playing the accumulation game here against all odds and expectations for XRP. So, you know, what we've got from this pivot point here in January of 2023, I think that that's a true bottom. of a macro correction. I've gone through this as to why. Okay, so we bottomed just there in January 2023. We've got a micro impulsive wave 1, 2, 3, flat 4, 5. This was a lovely leading diagonal, an expanding diagonal basically. And I was looking at this because on this impulsive wave 1, what we did when we had this overlapping corrective zigzag wave 2 ABC, we actually come up in 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But on the retracement just there, we pierced the high of wave 1. So when we did that, I did say to you, I think we've got a leading diagonal here and we've got a final 5th wave. And this is why I was projecting that final 5th wave to come. And I gave you the target as well. It was really, really simple. It was a 1618. And it met like an absolute boss. So from there, around about 82 cents, wasn't it? Look at that. Bang on the money. Double tapped it. See you later. And it's been in the correction ever since. So I think there's no bias here. But what we may have is a 1. And then this is a flagging wave 2 that could potentially have bottomed just there for XRP. And then what we've got is some kind of A, some kind of B, and some kind of C. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves here. And in the final 5th wave to the downside of the C wave or WSY, whatever you would call it, we do see 5 waves, which is typical, you know, of the end of the correction, just like this was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all in, basically. So over a long period of time, what we are doing on these key pivot points is stepping it up. So we've got some compression, you know, from left to right. Take a look at that. So from, you know, left to right on the expansion to the downside as well, we're making lower highs. So we've definitely got some kind of compression that we're going through from left to right, making a series of high lows over a long period of time, and then these lower highs over a long period of time. So something is going to give here for XRP. And now there's no bias, but I think we may have bottomed just there in July for XRP. And I'll go through this as to why. Okay, really, really simple. You know, we come down in this potential ABC zigzag or WSY, whatever you call it, and we fulfilled the prophecy of backtesting that God candle breakout. Okay, so from this pivot point here, what we've done, we've created a 1 into a 2 into a 3 into a 4 into a 5. This may be a micro impulsive wave 1 of a huge third wave that is coming for XRP against all odds and expectations. This is typically where we see these third waves. Now, like I've said to you before, this third wave should, in theory, have the power to break this resistance, this resistance, this resistance, this resistance, and, you know, technically this resistance as well, and the all-time high. So this is my projection that we've actually been in a 1 into a 2 into a huge third wave right now for XRP. And this is just a subset wave of the third wave, a 1 into a 2 into a huge expanding 3. So that's the bullish scenario. And right now, what we wanted to see from this pivot point in July was 5 waves up, and we've got exactly that. So right now, we may just be going through a correction, looking for a vertical here for XRP, okay? So is there some kind of catalyst or something? I don't know, okay? Possibly, but something might show up in the news or the charts or whatever. At the moment, there is a potential we're on cusp of a vertical, and the confluence is the fact that we are nearing the end stage of a big vertical for risk, given the, you know, the clues in the DXY. So what we may have here in this current time frame for XRP is a potential inverse head and shoulders here. So we've come in a wave 1. There's your left shoulder, there's your head, working on the right shoulder, calling up, looking for the expansion. I think if this thing starts to break and takes out that pivot point there, and the July high, this could be, you know, on the cusp of a vertical, and this is a 1 into a 2 into a 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth over the next coming months for XRP. I wish everyone the most luck, and obviously the invalidation right now is really, really simple. If we do start to see XRP break down below that pivot point in July of this year, which was a beautiful little buyback zone for myself and the CoinsKid crew, then I'm completely wrong, okay? But we may have completed the correction here because of the 5 waves in this leg to the downside. So I'm looking at potential scenario 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right now we have a 5 wave move up, and right now we're going through a simple correction looking for the expansion to the upside. This is your invalidation, that pivot point low, which is around about 03816. If we break down below that, then we've got a lot more work to do here before the actual bottom of this correction is. And obviously your primary bull market support is that, really, really simple, that pivot point from which you create 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, some kind of WXY correction or whatever, potentially bottom just there, a 1 into a 2 into a huge 3, which is potentially coming for XRP. And if you look from left to right, really, really simple, all we're doing is making a series of lower highs and a series of high lows. So this is compression time. We're getting really, really close here to some kind of expansion to the upside, or obviously to the downside. There's no guarantees. But my primary count, and it's not moontardism, bulltardism as well, it's just clues that I see in other things, the S&P 500, you know, breaking into all-time highs, and, you know, the clues in the DXY for that last vertical. I'm anticipating that, to be honest with you. So this is why I'm a buy, not a cry, but I do show the invalidation every single day. So at the moment we may have an inverse head and shoulders pattern here, reversal pattern. We've come up to this key resistance. We've got a left shoulder, a potential head, potential right shoulder. If we break this resistance, I think we're up here, taking out that key pivot point. I think if we take out that key pivot point from March of 2024, this will be all systems go here for XRP. So lastly, before I do go, at the moment there may be another little bit of confluence in the Bitcoin chart, with the XRP versus Bitcoin chart, sorry, that we may have found another higher low here on the macro for XRP. Okay, so you know, we've got this sort of compression within itself against Bitcoin. So you've got that high there, and then the high there, and then you're making a series of lower highs. Look at this, series of lower highs, but you're equally making a series of higher lows. So we've got some kind of compression within itself on, you know, versus Bitcoin, as well as the price action against the dollar. So something's going to give, isn't it? You know, because compression leads to expansion. We get really close to an apex, and then we get this move basically. So you know, we have seen a nice positive reaction so far in the XRP versus Bitcoin chart, and this is something we most definitely want to see if we are expecting the big vertical in the chart here for XRP. Okay, so maybe a bit of added confluence with the fact of the DXY, you know, looking for that final leg and that final sort of signal of the bullish divergence on the weekly, that we are about to see, you know, XRP break out and flourish here against Bitcoin and the USD. So again, I remind you, on the XRP chart we have got 5 waves up, okay, and a potential wave 1 right now, possibly wave 2. So you know, if I'm correct, this high that we've put in from July low, and we've seen the 5 waves up, we should be buying as much as we can on this retracement right now for XRP, because the next leg will smash that high, and it's a big move that's coming. And you know, the confluence may be in the XRP versus Bitcoin chart as well as the DXY. So that's it basically. I wish everyone the utmost luck. You know, I've got no guarantees. I can't guarantee it's going to be vertical or SAF or whatever. It is what it is. I've just relayed the data to you, but there is a chance that XRP, given the 5 wave move up from July, we have actually bottomed in this correction. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned, and if I see anything else, I'll relay that to you. But good luck everybody, okay? Look at this compression against Bitcoin. Something is going to give here, isn't it? We're getting really close to some kind of move, violent move at that. Take care everyone, back to another update on XRP. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned, and thank you for your support. Bye bye.